What up? This Flighteous. You tune into the GameHeadz Podcast with my boy Cole. Lock in.
Come right here. The nigga right there. That's Flighteous. Yeah, that's that nigga right there. You know that
This boy's not a nigga.
Hey, talking shady. Had to get up, get that bag, cause I need it. I got reasons. You ain't trying to catch it when you catching beat.
You dig. You heard me? Yep, we back in this bitch again, Flighteous, dog.
Had to do it again. So good,
Yeah.
do it twice, huh?
I appreciate it, though.
It's all good.
You heard me? My first question I got for you, bro. Tell the people where you from, bro.
Flighteous. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. And when I say that, I mean like really like from New Orleans. Like I grew up all over the city, so I don't really claim no specific area.
Yeah, you say you just came from a second line of there.
Kind of, sort of. I caught the end of it. I went to go get me a burger from Kermit.
Word.
Barbecue.
So let's talk about music, brother. What age you started making music?
Probably been doing this. I've been doing this for as long as I can remember, man. I don't really know how to even put a time on it. I've been doing this for a long time, bro. This has always been one of my earliest memories of just making something, coming up with a little tune or coming up with a little phrase or whatever. It's always been early on.
So you started rapping or producing?
I started rapping first, but nobody didn't want to produce for me. So because nobody wanted to produce for me, I had to learn how to do my own stuff because I got tired of ripping beats from LimeWire and stuff like that. So I kind of taught myself how to do production on Logic, just messing around. You know, I always tell people if you want to learn how to do something, you got to go in there, mess some stuff up. And then once you mess it up, you got to figure out how to put it back together. So that's how I taught myself.
Facts. You got some new music coming out?
Yes and no. I mean, I always got new music coming out. I just, I think right now I just kind of like shifted my focus to like just other stuff, like just how can I be creative in other avenues, helping other people and stuff like that. I got friends who have ventures that they want to do and things that they've been thinking about doing for a while, and they've been helping me with my music for so many years that I think I'm just ready to start putting my energy into them.
Dope. You're a good dude for that. Everybody don't think like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only right I give back. Like I said, them dudes gave up a lot of years helping me chase this and
Facts.
helping me pursue these dreams, so it's only right.
I'm looking at my phone right now. You dropped a September
Yeah,
EP?
I did.
Or is that an album?
It's kind of like both, you know. I had some new songs and I had some songs that I felt like should have came out when I was doing the month-to-month projects.
Mhm.
I ended up stopping doing the month-to-month projects. I had some mental health issues, you know what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
I needed to take some time away from the music, and I felt like it was like service to the people who still rock with me and been rocking with me for years, to give them some of that stuff that didn't come out and also the new stuff that I've been working on.
Me?
Some fan service.
Me? You talking about me?
For
Nah,
sure.
No, you talking about me. I'm like
sure.
them EPs.
Yeah.
I was like mad when I seen you. You know.
Yeah. I'm considering coming back. I mean, you know, and just picking up where I left off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then who knows? Next year I might drop October and November. You know what I'm saying? So I never say what I won't do because I'm so sporadic when it comes to, even like when you say, do you have new music out? I'm always working on music. It's just, again, my focus is not there right now, especially because the game's so fickle right now. I don't really have an interest to participate in anything that's going on or even be around people right now.
So that's what got you in that space of.
I felt like for a long time I was pouring into people who wasn't pouring into me. I'm giving all this energy. I'm giving all my time. I'm showing up on time, you know, and people, you know, even like you said, I showed up and you showed up on time.
Facts.
That's because I value your time.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It means something to me that you even invited me here. So
Facts.
when people invite me to these sessions or people invite me to do anything and they don't even have the decency to show up on time or treat me with the same respect, it's like I just got tired of being in that element. I'm just tired of being in that in that atmosphere.
Right. You want reciprocation.
For sure. So it's like, again, I felt like to a certain extent I was worried a lot about who wasn't, and I wasn't spending as much time worrying about the people who were.
Right.
So now that's all I'm thinking about now is how do I give back to the people that been with me since day one. Like that's the only thing I'm worried about right now.
To be honest with you, I think that's a good space to be in, just as a person, not even on no music shit.
Right.
Just, I think that's a good, because we all go through that, and you need that. You need the cleanse and what they say, purge.
Right, for sure.
You need to purge certain things out, because you gonna what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up holding yourself back.
Definitely. And you know, we all like we selfish in nature to a certain extent.
Facts.
So I felt like, you know, the gratification that I was getting from doing my stuff, now I get the same gratification now of, all right, bro, what you need me to do? You need me to do graphics? Do you need me to whatever? And whatever I have to do to pour into my partners, that's what I'm ready to do now.
A real friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, that's a real friend.
I mean, my partners was directing my videos. My partners was executive producing. My wife was executive producing my albums. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
All these people was pouring their time and their energy into me. So now it's like, it's only right. Honestly.
You just want to give it back.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how it's supposed to be. What another crazy question I'm asking you. You say you started rapping first, but do you remember how old you was when you started making tracks?
I could have been like, this was like maybe like around the time of like right after my freshman year of college, so maybe like 18, 19 or something like that.
Mm.
Which for me right now, it feel like it wasn't that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I always been writing for so long. But yeah, I think that was the time where I saw firsthand that nothing was gonna be easy. Like I thought I was gonna have a deal by the time I got out of high school, not knowing how it would happen or anything. I just thought that that's what happens when you good. People say, "Oh, that dude good," and then they tell the labels, and the labels like, "All right, well, we want to sign you and change your life," and it don't work like that. So
Facts.
it forced me to be a lot more independent when it came to how I approached what I did. You know,
One thing I like about your following, if that's what you want to call it, your fans, or there's people that just rock with your music. You have a real diverse crowd. Like I know dudes that's you might consider just regular dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I know some real street dudes fuck with your shit. Oh, heavy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about dudes who just now getting a job in their life.
You're right.
Like,
It's about the real relationships though. Like I realized early, well, I don't want to say early, but I realized at a certain point that I'm not the type of dude that like when you have the internet for size and like people could kind of sell their personality, then it's like you get fans based on what people think you are. I felt like my strongest suit was talking to people, getting to know people, and having real connections with people. And most of the people that listen to my music, I have real connections. If they message me, I message them back. I try to, if it's an artist, I try to give back. Oh, what do you think about this compressor or whatever? I try to give back because I realize that I don't necessarily have fans. I have people that just like you said that rock with me, and to a certain extent, I gotta show them the same support. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why it's so diverse too. So when I go places and I'm introducing myself to people, I'm genuinely locked into what they talking about. How's your life? How your family been? I remember being on tour in I think it was South Africa, and I met this man. He was with his son, and he was a white man, but his son was black. He was biracial, and I think his son was like kind of like annoyed that he had to go to an event where they were going to be playing jazz music or something like that. But it ended up working out in his favor because he got to see me play and he liked my stuff. So then it was a bonding moment for the dad and the son. And when they came, introduced themselves, and I still keep up with the son is a producer now. He fire. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, again, it's actually like, I come from the times like where you have like the showcases, even like Levy used to do the writer's block, right? You do the writer's block, you do your set, and they dip, they leave. Well, again, like those types of things mean something too. Are you staying behind? Are you talking to people? Are you interacting with them on a real level? And people remember that. Like Quest, you know Quest the producer?
I don't.
Quest, Q the Fifth.
I
He from Algiers, but he probably one of the dopest producers in the city.
Right.
My first show, Levy gave me my first show at the Writers Block like years ago.
Right.
That was my first show, like ever. I went on last. Quest and my cousin was the only one in the crowd that stayed.
Right.
To this day, like anything Quest need, he get it.
Right.
Even if he said he remembered, that's good that he remembered. But even if he, like, I have people who be like, man, why you do all this shit? Like Levy at one point didn't know why. Man, why you give me beats and why you do all this free shit? It's like, bro, like it may not mean nothing to you, but everything that ever happened, like I keep a note of who did what. I remember being like, I ain't have no skin in the game or nothing. Levy, I went to the studio. He let me get on the track with him and some other dude, but they grown men. Right. I was a little boy at the time, so all that shit mattered to me.
Right.
And I don't take none of that for granted. I don't forget none of that.
That's dope. Just hearing you talk right now, it just made me think about your story. Like, you got a dope story. Like, for real, like when you be rapping and like, cause I know you, but me and you never got on that level to where, but I know certain things about you because of your music. And it's like, just knowing you, and I mean, you never judge a book by its cover, but some of the stuff that you've been through, brother, is wild. And it's like, when I hear you pull that out into your music, it's like, damn, like Flighteous really got a dope ass story, like for real. Like when you talk about your dad, stuff like that. You talk about certain family relationships and shit. Like what make you like? I'm not gonna ask that question because that's a cliche question. How do you flip it the way you flip it? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. You got your own style.
Thank you.
And it's like you know how to play with other styles too. I can hear it in your music, but like you tapped in the culture. Like if the style was to change the day of tomorrow and it was to come with something new, you'll put a Flighteous spin on it.
Yeah,
like you that ill like with it. But like how do you like flip it the way you flip it, like to tell your story?
I think I always, like, me and my friends, we always talk about these rules, right? Like when you come in the game, like, well, when I was coming up, just like you might know when you was coming up, like they have these rules, like where you'll go to like the OGs. Your OG would tell you got to come up with your own sound, you got to define yourself or whatever. All them rules gone now. So if anything, it make me stand out even more because nobody's following these rules because, again, a lot of them dudes don't even know about them. And it's like, I was always told, like early on when you start off doing anything, you start playing ball, you hooping, you want to emulate Jordan, you want to emulate Kobe, Bron, whatever. And it starts off like that because you're inspired to do something. And I think somebody, I forgot how they framed it, but they were like, it's steps. It's like emulation, imitation, then innovation. Some kind of way is like that. So like you try to be like somebody and you use that to like you build up some type of skill and find your comfort zones or whatever like that. And then from that point, that's when you start to shape your own sound. It's like, I mean, I'm sure everybody in 2005 was sounding like Wayne. I have stuff like that where I'm rapping like Wayne, oops, I meant whatever, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just, you start from there. And I think I was really more focused on, I don't feel right after I say, I'm not gonna kill nobody, bro.
Right.
God forbid, right? If under the right circumstances, I'm the most peaceful guy ever.
Right.
So I had to realize too, my environment shaped me to be that way because of the things I was exposed to. Being around like some of my white homeboys and them dudes just in the country smoking weed, like sitting in a lake. You know what I'm saying? They're not going through the stuff that I'm going through. So even like talking with them, and then even like as an adult, right? Like you go to therapy. I'm talking to my therapist. I'm talking about these things that I'm talking about in my songs. Being present during an undercover drug bust and having police point guns in your face before you can even really form a sentence.
Right.
and still being able to remember that, because those things don't go away. And having my therapist tell me like, yo, that's not normal. Those things are not normal. Like, we have PTSD, like, easily. And most people that I know from the city have PTSD.
Facts.
And they don't know how to put it in words.
Facts.
So at one point, it just got to the point where it just became easier and easier to just say it to the music, because everybody around you got PTSD. So like how you look, like, yeah, man, it was a rough day. My daddy went to jail. My daddy in jail too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's therapy in that aspect.
Right.
Because if everybody's in the same anguish, then it's kind of hard to complain or even like have a dialogue about what's going on. Because now you just look weak.
Dope. Yep. Facts. Let's talk about your relationship with Raj. How you met Raj? Like,
I met Raj doing an album for Pie Sky.
shout out P.
I met P on Twitter. I was giving beats away to like all the rappers. Like, I found any rap I could find on Twitter, I would like DM him, yo, I got free beats.
Right.
I sent P like one beat. I think the beat I even sent him, we didn't even use that for the album. He was like, yeah, just pull up to the studio. I pull up to this house in Gentilly. I'm like, what's going on? Get in there. It's a bunch of niggas in there. Carl in there. You know what I'm saying? So they all sit in the front. And I'm like, hey, y'all got speakers? Everybody just busts out laughing. Like, do we have speakers? They're like, you know where you at? I was like, I have no idea where I'm at. I think I'm at somebody's mama house.
Right.
So they take me to the room, and this is like the first setup where, like, you know, they had the bullet hole in the desk and all that. So this is like the first setup, and I'm like, yo, where the fuck am I? I still don't even really realize that I'm at Raj's spot.
Right.
So then I meet Mook, because Mook was managing P at the time. And like, I don't know, like them dudes, for me, especially like being like kind of reclusive, I spent a lot of time by myself. So just seeing how them dudes like talk to each other, like it was just a different type of culture to me, because it was like, again, like I spent so much time in my circle. All my cousins is hood niggas, gangsters, you know what I'm saying? If I had partners, we was just regular dudes, you know what I'm saying? So it was funny like being around dudes like that, kind of like that middle ground, you know, like these niggas like real like intentional about what they wearing. They dogging each other. I'm in there like with I got on some brown construction boots because I don't care. I'm in there dressed like I'm in a rock band or something. And I could hear them like clowning each other. Man, you still wearing them, whatever, you got them funny earrings. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard nobody talk like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like good to like them dudes was my first like real taste into like being around like people of that yoke. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, again, like I'm only in the circumference of the people I came up with.
Right.
And that shit showed me so much, and this is gonna get to the Raj, but that shit showed me so much in terms of how much I was limiting myself in the scope of interests, in the scope of my artistry and everything, because all I knew was just what I was around. So, you know, I ended up putting in the work with them, and like we came out with the album or whatever. And at some point, like, you know, Raj walked in and he had the aura, because, you know, when you come up from New Orleans, it's like that's all you, the greatest DJ in, that's a big deal, right? And for the longest, like, I just felt like dude wasn't fucking with my music. I put on a beat and he'd just be like, and it's like, never get him to bob his head ever. And then it would just like turn to, I would get to the studio first, because I think the engineer got fired like in the middle of us working on the album. So they fired the engineer, and it was like, well, don't you know how to engineer? And I'm like, I guess I do, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna tell him I don't.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I engineer. So I'm learning like on the fly, like all this stuff, like I literally learned how to do most of the stuff I know how to do now because of that album. And also just like sitting under Raj, like it got to the point where I was just like, he knows everything. I know nothing. Let me just, hey, can I just shadow you in sessions? So then it got to the point where I think, did we do a session with you?
Man, it was so long ago.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like, but like I would sit in sessions for Dizzy. I sat in sessions for Rocker B and whoever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever was coming there, whatever. If I had to open up first, if I had to be the last one there, like I didn't care, because, you know, I always say, like a lot of people will go to school and get degrees and try to, study under these programs for the name of the program. But all of those programs, all of those things were being taught. Like the first guy is a guy who just did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not somebody who studied a textbook. This is the guy who wrote the textbook, right? So I always felt like it was always putting me miles ahead to study under like Raj, because Raj is so technically sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes it's like you go in rooms with dudes like that, and like we've had like conversations, and he's imparted like some dope ass wisdom on me. But for the most part, like when I'm around him, like I'm just trying to like soak it in and just see, and then apply my own sauce after the fact. But it's just, I think right now everybody's like they in such dire straits to show like, oh, I know this and look what I could do. And,
right. Instead of
like,
learning.
Everything's it's not always the occasion for you to display what you do. You know what I'm saying? I've been in rooms with people and I know I produce, I know I write and all that, but it don't call for that right then and there. But my relationship with Raj is like shit makes sense after the fact. You know what I mean? Like I always tell people this story about the time when he dropped a mixtape and we had CDs. That's how long ago this was. We was bagging CDs in the studio.
Greatest DJ in the world?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
So we bagging CDs. And it's just me and him, bro. Like I'm sleeving, whatever, however it work. He putting the artwork in, however it's working. And it's quiet. We're not even really talking. So he was like, let me ask you something. He's like, how many people you see in here right now? And I'm like, because it's some Jedi shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's me and you. Like, what? He was like, but when we at the foundation room or we at an event or we at the club, how many people you see by the booth? I said, a fucking bunch. He said, all right, so don't ever forget that this right here, though, is the most important shit. Who's here when you bagging up CDs? Who's here when we doing the ugly work? Because everybody could go put that shit on and go to the club and look good and all that. But who's here right now when we on, when we getting dirty? You know what I mean?
Thanks.
It's like I was telling you earlier, hey, I need everybody to come to the studio. You get to the studio. All right, so we going to clean out that room. And you like, okay. Because he asked you, hey, what you got to do? What you got to do Sunday? I'm free Sunday. Because you don't want to turn nothing down, right?
Right.
I'm free Sunday. Whatever you want to do.
Right.
All right, cool. Come to the studio around 2 o'clock. All right, cool. Pull up on time.
Right.
I'm there.
Right.
All right, good. Yeah, they got them boxes up there. We cleaning out the whole studio today. Okay.
Right.
Because what you going to say? No.
Right.
That man has never charged me to record in his studio, ever. That man has never charged me for information. That man has never like charged me for anything.
Right.
So anything he ever asked me to do, I'm going to do it,
Real.
So that's just what it is.
Real. Hey, that's dope. Man, that's dope. I ain't want to just stop talking. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, that I could tell, like, you being around Raj and just being, like you say, in that community period. I call it a community. I definitely could tell, like, you definitely musically inclined too, though. I could hear it in your music. I could hear it in your beat selection. How you can do what people probably will say up north hip hop, and then mix it with New Orleans hip hop. Like, you got a variety of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's just dope.
I'm not influenced by Cash Money. That's why, though.
You're not influenced by Cash
No,
Money?
I wasn't into like Cash Money or No Limit or any of that. I wasn't into any
What
of
was
that.
your influence?
My influence was Tupac, Nas. That was like the first things.
Right.
Like before anything.
Right.
Then branching off from there, it's just because I didn't talk like the Hot Boys. You know what I mean? Like I talk more like those dudes up there. Like I pronounce my talk a certain way, and they was calling me a white boy down here. And then when you hear them dudes and they sound like you know what I'm saying? Like even like as far as like someone like that higher thinking shit that they would be on, I'd be like, damn, like that sound more like what I'm into,
right.
Opposed to, because the message was always like the flex of this is what I know, listen to me exercise what I know. And by the way, don't play with me. I'm gonna bat the fuck out you.
Right.
And that's how I felt. I felt like I didn't want to bother nobody that was, that wasn't bothering me. But also, like, by the way, like my wordplay stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just never got that from artists. Like when I was growing up, I never got that from artists in the South. So it's like a lot of waves I missed and a lot of stuff I had to come back and catch up on and to just to appreciate it. Like I never forget I had a teacher in high school. His name's Steve Reynolds. Taught me like the basics of like audio engineering and shit like that. Produced for Irma Thomas, won a Grammy and all kind of shit. Used to engineer for Earth, Wind and Fire. Played basketball with him and everything.
Damn.
Dope ass dude. We were in this is like my introduction to just the way I think about music. He started playing this like country song or whatever the fuck it was at the time. And he was like, so what you think about it? And I was like, I don't like it. And he was like, well, what don't you like about it? I was like, I don't know. I just don't like it. He was like, well, instead of focusing on what you don't like about it, why won't you ask me what I like about it? I was like, all right. I said, so what you like about it? He was like, I love the guitar. It came like whoever recorded it clean, and whoever was playing it was doing a good job. And he had all these little like innuendos that he pulled out of this song to where it made me listen different. And even now, like my mom get pissed off, like if she like, well, you know what you think about? I'm like, I don't really care for it. Because that's just in my nature. But I also don't want to discuss, like, I don't like the way they recorded this. And I think it's EQ'd a little fun. I'm not about to have that conversation with my mom, but
Right.
it like that make you think about how you approach shit differently. But it's like you have to be around people that's willing to challenge. He could have just said, you don't like it? All right, yeah, the little nigga don't like it. You know?
Right.
And that's it. But to delve into it and be like, why? All right, now that you have your why, now let's see if you could pull out shit that you might actually like about it. It's like when you working, at a job and they got the HR shit, right? And they try to sandwich some shit. Hey, I just want to let you know you've been doing good with coming in on time, and we do see you working diligently on the floor, and that's great. But your breaks are a little long, and they sandwich those two good things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like kind of like the mentality that I've been having to have, especially even like with myself. Because I'm my biggest critic. I'm like, man, I hate this shit. This shit sound crazy. Why do I hate it? Well, I hate that my voice is this way. All right, well, now I know I can go and improve on that. Now I know, all right, well, I won't record like that. Or certain tempos I might stay away from because they don't really do me no justice.
Right.
Yeah, it's just finding the criticism, but being able to apply it.
What's a song, by you saying that made me think of this question. What's a song that you released and people rock with hard and you feel like that, like, man, I don't fuck with that?
I don't know, man, because
You got a lot of music, first of all.
I was about to say it's a lot of stuff, but also it's like, I'm so weird, bro. Like I go through like these little phases where like most times I just like the album I dropped, the Fools and Dreamers album. In the process of making it, I loved it. I mean, even like now, like being able to listen to it away from the way I feel about it, I could see like, oh man, like I was in a different bag, like as far as the production and shit like that. But when certain albums remind you of certain periods of your life, I just kind of like, even like the subject matter, I'm just like, damn, bro, like it's just even hard for me to listen to that album. You know what I'm
Kind of
saying?
grunge. Like,
Yeah, especially that. It's like some of the subject matter, like I don't know. But again, like I can't dictate how people interpret or what they choose. Like there's one song called Mortified. And
no summer.
that song like took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And while I love it and while, just from a writing standpoint, I love the vulnerability of it. I just think where I was, it was such an ugly place that sometimes I don't even really care to like visit those spaces anymore.
Yeah.
But other people hit me up and they're like, yo, that song got me through, hey, I was going through a breakup, or hey, I was going through whatever. And that song was my soundtrack to getting out of the dark spot. And I'm like, see, and I'm gonna take it down because I don't like it. It's not about me at that point. So
Right.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you have to do. But that's what, as an artist, that's what comes
It's
with
our
the territory.
responsibility.
Yeah, that would come with the territory. Anything else you want to share, brother, before we get up out of there? I don't want to hold you too long.
I'm good. Whatever you want to know, bro.
Shout out your socials for sure.
Huh?
Shout out your socials. Your socials.
My socials? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I'm Flighteous on everything. FLIGHTEOUS. Best producer, best lyricist in the city of New Orleans.
You heard? I vouch for that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
One more question before you go. Before I let you go though. What's some advice that you'll give to like a up and coming producer or artist?
The best advice I could give anybody coming up is nobody really knows. You look at all these people and you assume that they're going to impart you with this like wisdom. And while you could take anything from anybody, a hobo could give you wisdom, right? You could take anything from anybody. Don't take so much away from yourself that you're not listening to you. Because your body, your spirit, your energy, everything will tell you exactly what you need to know in terms of your creativity. And I think when you start getting into the aspect of worrying about how it's going to affect other people instead of just worrying about creating the best thing you can create, that's when you get into the territory of making stuff that you're going to eventually hate after the fact. So the best thing to know is that nobody knows. And it's a beautiful thing to just go and make mistakes and fuck some shit up because nobody have the answer.
Thanks. Dope. I appreciate you for coming back and fuck with me, brother.
Good,
I'm letting
bro.
you know
Thank you for
right
having
now,
me.
once I pack everything up and I get in the car, I'm going to bump September.
That's what's up.
Straight like that. And I'm going to be looking for October because I'm a Libra, you heard me?
October over, bro. November.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm still going to be looking for October.
You a Libra?
Yeah, I'm a Libra.
Me too.
Yeah. I ain't know that.
For sure. That's why I did September. I did it for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Most of the great artists Libras do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I see. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, man.
I get it. I'm getting it more and
Get
more,
me.
dog.
For sure.
Get it more and more, dog. I appreciate you, though, brother.
Thank you,
for
Cole.
putting up on me, you did. Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all fuck with my dog Flighteous, man. I'm gonna have everything in the description, you did. Y'all go follow my dog. If you ain't on Flighteous right now, you from the city, something wrong with you. I ain't gonna lie. Like, for real, like. Trust me, it's some of them boys that's out here that's them ones, and they know about Flighteous for sure.
But they don't say nothing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people vouch for you, dog.
Say nothing.
I mean, hey, you know how it go down here, dog. We ain't gonna get to that. Look,
GameHeadz Podcast.
you heard me?
Thank you, Cole.
You heard me, boy. Core season with my dog Flighteous, you dig on my GameHeadz shit. You ain't about to throw me in that water. Nah, we ain't doing that.
You ain't looking like my type, I type deleted this shit. You ain't acting like you loyal, it's misleading and shit. Gotta keep my baby spoiled, I ain't seeing me quit. If you add out on this flight, I bet your ticket get ripped. If you slip up, come and clear this little hiccup. I got sicko in my bed, my little pickup. Automatic when I grab it, gotta lick it. Why they tryna rim my fucking pickle? On me down, don't you bring a fucking nickel. All we find is Elefante and a Clico. And I shine, bitch, I'm grinding with my niggas.